to my channel. If you're new, my name's Ailey. Today's video is going to be a super exciting one. This is a collab video. I haven't done a collab in ages. So today's video is in collaboration with Krista Burtner here on YouTube. I will put a picture of her over here. I'll link her video in the description box below so you can go and check it out straight after you've watched this one. Today what we're going to do is, I came up with a tag idea and it's basically called the Thank You Next makeup tag, or the Thank You Next tag, whatever this video is titled, that's what it's called. If you haven't been living under a rock, you'll know that Ariana Grande came out with a song called Thank You Next, and it's kind of all about her ex-boyfriends, what she's learned from them. I mean, whether or not it's built on truth, I don't know, but it's all about things that have happened in the past that maybe haven't worked out, but it's not all a total loss because you learned from it and you've grew from it and things like that. So I thought, well, haven't we all, or at least I have, done that with makeup? Now, I know I have some, oh, it's hard to think about. Some of the mistakes and the things that were in fashion like 5 years ago that just aren't now. And when I look back on my old pictures and even my old tutorials, then I just thought, like, I've actually grown so much and trends have changed so much and fashion has changed so much that all of those mistakes may look terrible now, but we've all sort of grown from them and learned from them. So I thought the Thank You Next tag, but with makeup. So on this half of my face, I'm going to do all of my kind of mistakes that I've made, things that I kind of did wrong or did in the past that I would definitely not do now. And on this half of my face, I'm going to do my makeup like I do now, having learned from all those things, all those makeup disasters, and we're going to see the difference at the end. So yeah, I really hope that this is not a total disaster. Okay, so I think I've written down most of the things that I'm going to do today, but the first and foremost thing I'm going to do or not do on this side is I'm not going to prime this side, because primer wasn't a massive thing back when I was making makeup mistakes. It kind of only really just became a thing in the last few years when YouTube really blew up, so I never ever used to prime because primer didn't, I don't even know if primer really existed back when I first started doing makeup. But anyway, so we're not going to prime. However, on this side of my face I am going to prime, because obviously this is our, we've learned from our mistakes side. But I'm just using the Too Faced Hangover X Primer. I love this primer. If you have dry skin in the slightest, then this primer is the primer for you. Okay, so next we have foundation. I have this Revolution Pro foundation drops here. This isn't like a product that I would use back then, but I was always so scared of getting orange foundation. Now, back a few years ago, foundations weren't as diverse in their shade ranges as they are now, and you didn't have kind of so many cool tones and warm tones and things like that. Unless you went to MAC, you were just sort of like faced with whatever shade range you could get. So I always went too light with my foundation. So that is what I'm going to do on this side, and this is sort of the lightest one I've got just now. And then I'm actually going to go, it's probably going to be a tiny little bit too dark for me, but I always find that that is much more flattering because it will blend into my neck and it suits my body, because my face always stays a little bit lighter and I'll fake tan my body more than I'll fake tan my face. And the other thing that I did was I used to try and fit in with the trend and use a foundation brush, even though I have dry skin, and it never boded well for my skin type. I wanted to try and fit in with the crowd and wear my foundation and stuff like that the same as everybody else did, even though it made me look like a total mummy and aggravated my dry skin. So, and I've dragged it down my neck, but I probably wouldn't have dragged it down my neck before either. Other thing that I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm not going to use concealer on this side because I didn't really use concealer, and I'm just going to use my foundation sort of everywhere. On this side I'm going to use the Revolution Conceal and Define foundation, and I'm going to use it in shade F5. And on this side as well I'm going to use a beauty sponge. This one's from Morphe, but you can use any one. And this is just my preferred method of application now. I'm actually kind of terrified to see what this half of my face is going to look like, because there are so many things that I'm so glad that I stopped doing. Okay, so right now we look pretty much the same. This foundation wasn't as light as I thought it was going to be, and it actually blended out pretty well with this brush. God damn it. So next we've got concealer. Like I said, I'm not going to conceal on this side. I'm just going to conceal on this side because I didn't really use concealer. I usually say if you don't need concealer, like I don't have really bad dark circles or anything like that, you can always just use it to brighten, you know, bring a little bit of lightness to that part of your face. And if you don't want a lot of heavy product, what you can do is don't take your foundation right up to your eyeballs and use concealer there instead. So obviously I haven't concealed on this side, so I don't have to set it, but on this side, who knows, maybe I'll find some things that I should still be doing from this side. That would be pretty cool. Okay, so we're on to my worst nightmare, which is eyebrows. I didn't used to do anything with my eyebrows. Big mistake. And I didn't have any. Like, I had less than I have right now, so it looked worse. Put it that way. So I'm going to take this Revolution Pro eyebrow pencil and just do my brow on this side. On this side seems to be a complete lack of doing things, to be honest. But on this side, I'm not going to prime my eyes. On this side, I am. I'm going to do it with Painterly from MAC. As I'm priming this side, I'm just going to clean up my eyebrows as well. And I prime my eyes from lashes to eyebrows, basically, because I need all of that space. Because I've got hooded eyes, I need all of that space to work with. I think I want to use one of the Ball Collection because I used it in my last video, or one of my last videos, and I really liked it. So I'm going to get Armed and Gorgeous this time. I'm going to grab Smooth Criminal, and on this side I'm going to take this up really high in my fake crease. Then I'm going to grab Agent just to kind of blur out the top of that. I'm going to take Painterly again, and I'm just going to carve out a new eyelid for myself. Then here I'm going to grab Top Secret, and I'm going to focus this on the outer corner right now, and then into the inner corner. Okay, so I'm going to put Guilt Trip, which is the really gold one, in the middle of that. Okay, so I'm not going to do the same on the other side because I never would have done anything like this back when I was making makeup mistakes. I never would have contemplated doing anything like this. So what I probably would have done was I would have taken a shimmery shade and put it on just my mobile lid. Maybe like a little bit above, but really I'd have just shoved it on there like that. And then I'd have taken, I'm trying to remember. So if I take Smooth Criminal, I'd have run this in my actual crease. Where I've put sort of like my crease up here on this eye, I'm putting it right down in where my actual crease is in this eye. A little bit like that. The one thing I did do was I did use some sort of brow gel. So I'm going to use Gimme Brow over here. I never used to pencil my brows in, but I did use like a clear mascara or a clear brow gel in my eyebrows. So I am going to run Gimme Brows through this brow. And the only problem with doing this, if you've got really sparse eyebrows like mine, is you'll get little sort of bits that are a little, like it's clung onto, and other bits that it hasn't, and it's just a total nightmare. Okay, so next would be, I wouldn't do anything to the lower lash line on this side, but I obviously do my lower lash line now, so I will pick up Smooth Criminal, then Top Secret. What I did used to do on this eye over here was I would get a black liner and I would just line my waterline, just like that. On this side, I will do it with a brown liner because everything sort of goes with this brow liner on this side, and it's just not quite as harsh. So over on this side, I would use mascara, and I'm just going to use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I would coat my lashes quite well because mascara was the one thing that I have always worn. I do have quite long lashes, so. And on this side, obviously, I'm going to do my lashes just the same, and I'm going to pop on some falsies. While I'm waiting on my lash glue just to dry up a little bit, I am going to... Why do these eyeliners always do that? The wee inner bit comes out. Anyway, I've got an Eyeko eyeliner here, and I'm just going to do a winged eyeliner on this eye. This is something that I don't really do very much anymore because, well, you'll see why. Winged eyeliner, like everybody would teach you on YouTube how to do. And if I were to sit and film the rest of my video like this, then it would look great, but looking straight ahead at you, I'm sure you can see what's going on out here. It kind of looks like the wing got lost and ended up down there somewhere. Hooded eyes, winged eyeliner don't go together. Annoying fact of life, but we can't all walk around looking like this, can we? So, yeah. Used to do that, learned from it, not doing it so much anymore. So I'm going to pop on some lashes over here, which is a good way to fake sort of a winged liner effect. And if you want to disguise the lash band, instead of doing a full liner all the way over, because when you take your lash off, it can lift off with the lash and make the lash dirtier, so it's harder to clean, and it's just another thing that you've got to pull off of it, and it makes the lashes not last as long. You can put on your lashes, or you can do this before, and then just take a liner and do a tiny little line from your inner corner to the lash band. So that is our lashes on, and I think lashes, especially for people with hooded eyes, make all the difference. I don't wear them all the time, but if I'm going anywhere, lashes is going on. Okay, so face. That is the eyes done, and I'm sure that you can see the difference in the eyes. Just a smidge. Okay, so for the face, so I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Bronzer. I'm focusing this high up on my cheek, underneath my jawline, run the tiniest bit on my nose just to give it some colour, and up on my forehead, because really you should bronze everywhere the sun hits, because it's where you'll get that little kind of glow of tan. And on this side, I don't have a mega orange bronzer anymore, but I probably did wear one. On this side, I'm just going to sort of haphazardly do it. Basically, we were always told in the 3 shape, so you would just do it up here, come around in here, and go around in there. But it wasn't so much you were placing it anywhere, it was more just warm up the skin. My foundation was too light for me, so I always did that just to kind of try and make myself look a little bit more bronze. I didn't used to contour, so I'm not going to contour on this side, but you know I'm going to contour on this side. So I'm grabbing Cool Porcelain from Makeup Geek, and I'm just going to take that right underneath. There's my cheekbone there, so I'm actually going to rub it up against my cheekbone and just do kind of wee circular motions. And just very recently I've started not taking my contour down as far. Then I'm going to run it along underneath my jawline. And I tend to get a little bit, and I've got a little bit of a double chin pooch here, so I just run it along that. I shouldn't have done it over this side, but never mind. Usually I kind of extend my neck, because you're trying to get that effect, and then when you kind of put it back to where it was, if it doesn't look right, then extend it out again and just follow your jawline. Looks a little bit better this time, and then just sort of blend out the edges. And my forehead isn't massive, so I kind of take it up a little bit, but I focus more on the sides of my face because I have quite a kind of short face. I want to elongate it a little bit. If I want to contour my nose, I have this little brush here, and it's an Morphe M330, and I will literally get the littlest bit on the tip, and I'll use this to contour my nose. For blush, I'm pretty sure that I used to go for quite pinky blushes before I realised what my undertones in that were, so I'll go for the kind of pinky one there and shove it on this side. And here what I used to do is focus it on the apples of my cheeks and then blend it back. And on this side, I am going to smile, but not so dramatically, like I look like a clown. I'm going to smile just a little bit and go for the highest point of that. I mean, I still over blush now, but not as bad as I used to. I didn't ever used to highlight. That's a new thing. I think that is a new trend in itself, but I don't ever remember really highlighting. So I'm going to take this Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop, and I'm going to highlight this side of my face. And then just before we move on to lips, I'm going to use a setting spray on this half of my face. So I'm just going to cover this half with a palette. Oh, that is running out. And then I'm just going to dab. Wow, that like soaked me. On this side, I would maybe have worn like a lip gloss or lip balm or something. So I'm just going to stick on a NYX butter gloss, because before I got my lips done, they were even smaller than they are now, if you can believe that. I have to get them redone again, hopefully in January, but I didn't like drawing attention to my lips because they were so small, and I never used to overline them either. So on this side, I'm going to take Celebrity Skin from Jeffree Star. Because we've got quite a dramatic eye look going on, I don't want to go in with something too crazy. So I'm just going to add this. Then I'm going to grab a lip liner and I'm going to just tidy up that lip line a little bit. And I think that could be it. Yeah, I think that's us there. So, over this side, all of my makeup mistakes. To go back, my foundation doesn't look bad. My skin is a hell of a lot clearer now than it was back then, so everything would have been peeking through. My eyebrow is an absolute disgrace. Please don't judge me. And my eye makeup isn't bad. I don't want anybody, if you do your eye makeup like this, to feel like it looks bad. It just looks bad to me because I've found other techniques that I prefer. But, I mean, as you can see, the liner just doesn't even connect. It doesn't look, it just looks like I've kind of thrown it. I mean, if I do that, it does, but if I'm talking to somebody, they're going to be like, why have you got a black line just hanging out at the side of your eye? It looks ridiculous. My eye is very closed off. It doesn't even really look like I have shadow on it. The hood is emphasized instead of kind of lifted. It isn't my favorite. My complexion isn't the best. It looks very muddy just because I threw bronzer on everywhere, and on this side I placed it a little bit more strategically. On this side, obviously, I have highlight, which makes my skin look a little bit more dewy. I have my blusher higher up so it doesn't drag my face down. On this side, it starts down here because I do have quite big cheek apples. So when I smile, they do come up quite high. And then when I don't smile, they're way down here again. So if I was to use that as reference, that's where the blush ends up and it looks a little bit silly. So really starting the blush back here works a lot better. Wearing lashes, these ones aren't massive, but wearing lashes just helps open your eye a little bit. You can actually see that there is something going on in this eye, whereas on this eye you just can't. My eyebrow, I think, speaks for itself. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than that. And then obviously I have lips because I bothered to put something on them because my lips obviously used to be very, very, very thin. They are now bigger, but they're not all pink, if that makes any sense. So my lip line is in fact up around here, but you can't see it because it's not a very vibrant pink like the rest of my lip is, if that makes any sense. So my lips look non-existent. I think that's the biggest difference. Looking from here to here on my lips, I think I look ridiculous right now. But that is my makeup mistakes side, and if we go, thank you, next. This is how I would do my makeup now. This isn't my favourite eye look in the world, I was just kind of winging it there, but this side is how I would normally do my makeup. It's a lot more dramatic. It's not something I would wear daily or anything like that. The complexion isn't too heavy, but this is everything that I have learned by making these mistakes. This is the baby that was born from it. So yeah, I think that is this video complete. I hope I haven't forgotten anything, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have makeup mistakes that you've made in the past that you've learned from and you think that it's really improved your makeup game, then obviously I tag you to do this tag as well. It would be really cool to see other people doing it. It's kind of like the power of makeup. Maybe it's called like the power of learning or something like that. The power of getting better at makeup. So don't forget, this is a collab video with Krista. I will link her channel in the description box for you. Go and check out her video. I know I can't wait to see it. I'll be heading right over there as soon as this is uploaded, or as soon as hers is uploaded. But I think that's it for this video. I'm going to go and sort out this face now. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!